On the dashboard page of your Endangered Species project, you should see a link to the Project Pathfinder. Click that link. This will open the Pathfinder that has the links you will need to research your endangered species. First, let's talk about the print resources. Most of the books that you will use have been pulled and put on a class cart. Check there first. You can also check Destiny to see if there are any books that are not on the cart. If a book says out, in most cases, that means the book is already on the class cart. If, however, it says ask, that means that the book is not in our library. We can ask another library to borrow it, but it is probably too late to get it in time for you to use for this project. And finally, don't forget about the encyclopedias under the windows. They may offer a good background on the basic facts about your species. Once you find a print resource to use, you will need to cite your source in NoodleTools. To do this, start by selecting the Bibliography tab at the top of the page. Now, select Book from the drop-down menu and then click the Create Citation button. Remember, the easiest way to cite a book is to enter the ISBN number in this box and then click the Search button. In most cases, you will find the ISBN number on the back of your book. If your book has two ISBN numbers, use the 13-digit one. Sometimes a book won't have an ISBN number on the back cover. If yours doesn't, look on the back of the title page. You may find one there. Once you find the ISBN number, enter it in the search box and then click the Search button. Check the information that is found to be sure it matches the information on your book. You may want to click the Retrieve Cover Images button to see a picture of the cover of the book. If the cover looks the same as the one on your book, then it is probably the correct record for your book. However, sometimes covers change, so if it does not match, that doesn't mean it's not your book. You will just need to be sure to check all of the information and change anything that isn't correct. To use this book, you will need to click on it to select it. Once it is highlighted, click the Import Selected Source button. Compare this information to the information on your book. Sometimes you will need to adjust or add some of the items. Once you are sure it is all correct, click the Continue button. NoodleTools will now enter all the bibliographic information for your book into the book form for you. If you are unable to find your book by searching with the ISBN number, you will need to check your book for the bibliographic information yourself and enter it into the book form. Check the title page and the back of the title page for the author, title, city of publication, publisher's name, and the year of publication. There's one last thing that you may need to do. If you only used one chapter or section of the book, click the plus sign you see here. And then enter the information about the specific chapter or section of the book that you used in this section. If each article in your book has a different author, you will need to enter the name of the author of your chapter or section here. Also, provide the title and page numbers for the chapter or section that you used. If you use an article in the World Book Encyclopedia, you will find the author's name at the end of the article in tiny print. Once you have entered all the bibliographic information for your book, click the Submit button. Now let's talk about the online databases. I've recommended some on the Pathfinder. Remember, I suggest you start with these before moving on to the free websites. The first database listed is Britannica School. When you search Britannica, it automatically locates the middle school Level 2 articles. You may often find additional information by reading Level 3 articles. To do this, click the number 3 at the top of the page. If you use an article from Britannica, don't forget you will need to cite your source. To find the citation for a Britannica article, click this box with a check mark. The citation box will open, and the citation style should be MLA. If it's not, select MLA from the drop-down menu. Highlight and copy the entire citation, including the URL. Now go back to the bibliography page in your NoodleTools project and select the type of source you are citing from the drop-down menu. Remember, Britannica is a database, not a website. Now click the Create Citation button. Choose Reference Source as the type of database. At this point, you should have already copied the citation for your Britannica article. Now click the Copy and Paste a Citation link near the top of the page, and a box for a manually edited citation will open. Paste the citation that you copied from Britannica into this box. Do not paste your citation in the annotation box. Leave that empty. One nice thing about including the URL in the citation is that it will act as a bookmark for your article. When you click on the View Live web page link, you will be taken back to the article that you cited. The next database on the Pathfinder is FactSite. Use the search box at the top of the page to search for your endangered species. If you find an article on your species that you would like to use, scroll to the bottom of the page and you will see a citation already prepared for you. Copy and paste the citation into NoodleTools. Be sure to only copy the citation. Do not copy the words "Cite this article as." When citing FactSite in NoodleTools, remember it is a database, not a website. FactSite does not include the URL in the prepared citation. You will want to highlight and copy this separately, and then paste it into the URL box provided under the box where you pasted your citation. This will create a bookmark for the FactSite article you cited. The last database included on the Pathfinder is the World Almanac for Kids. If you find an article in the World Almanac for Kids that you would like to use, scroll to the bottom of the page and you will see a citation already prepared for you. Copy and paste the citation into NoodleTools. Be sure to copy only the citation. Do not copy the word citation. Also, remember to copy the URL as part of the citation. Finally, remember to cite the World Almanac for Kids as a database. It's not a website. The last section of the Pathfinder includes other web resources. I have provided you with a link here for Destiny. Did you know that you can use Destiny to search for approved websites? Well, you can. In order to use Destiny to search for websites, though, you must be logged in. Click the login link at the top of the page, and then use your Destiny login. It is the same as the login that you use for the computers. Your username is usually the last 2 digits of your graduation year, followed by your last name and first initial. And your password should be your 6-digit student ID number. Once you are logged in, do a search as you normally would. Once you get your search results, click the Websites tab to see the websites Destiny has found on your topic. If you see one you would like to try, click on the link. I will review how to cite websites in a moment. One thing you will need to do is highlight and copy the URL for the website and paste it into your citation. However, there is an extra step involved in copying the correct URL for a website that you find through Destiny. Do not copy the URL in the address bar. Click the URL that I'm showing you here. This is the correct one to use in your citation. When you click that URL, it will put the correct URL in the address bar. Now you can highlight and copy this URL to use in your NoodleTools citation. In addition, I am providing you with links to other free websites on the Pathfinder that you may use. Don't forget to cite any websites that you use in NoodleTools. If the website is not one of the databases that I already mentioned, you will need to select Website from the drop-down menu. and then you will complete as much of the website form as you can. The name of the website will normally be found near the top of the page in a larger size font. Remember that the name of the website is not the same thing as the URL, though the name of the website may be part of the URL. Type the name of the website into the form on NoodleTools exactly as it appears on the web page. The name of the web page will normally be found near the top of the page also. The name is usually what the page is about, and it's often the same name as the subject you are searching for. It is usually in a larger font than the majority of the text on the page, but also normally smaller than the font used for the website title. Type the name of the web page into the form in NoodleTools, exactly as it appears on the web page. Look around the page and see if there is a specific date for when the page was last updated. If not, scroll to the bottom of the page and look for a copyright symbol. If you see one, check to see if there is a year to the right of that. If so, use that for the date of e-publication. If there's a range of years, use the most recent one. If you don't see a date, leave the e-publication box empty. If your web page has a copyright symbol, the name of the publisher of the site may be included to the right of the copyright date. You can also look for links that say something like Home, About Us, or Contact Us. These links may also provide you with details about who made this information available online. Finally, don't forget to copy and paste the URL from the top of the page into your citation in NoodleTools. We've talked before about some of the concerns with using Wikipedia for research. This article is a good example of why Wikipedia is normally not accepted as a source for research. As you can see, the facts in this article were disputed at one time. Although you may not cite Wikipedia as a resource for this project, you may use it to find links to other websites. Scroll to the bottom of the page and look for possible external links to other websites that you may use. However, before using one of these websites, you will need to consider the criteria we discussed earlier this year: authority, objectivity, currency, accuracy, and usefulness. If you have any questions as to how to do this, just ask.